Greetings! In this video, we will discuss integration by substitution. In summary, integration by substitution, or U-substitution, is a technique for finding antiderivatives that undoes the chain rule. We'll really quick talk about the procedure, then we'll try an example to get an idea of what integration by substitution is all about. So for the first step of the procedure, you look at the given integral, choose an inner function, if you can find one, and call it u. Second step, find the derivative of u, du dx, and then solve for dx. Third is where we make the substitution. Make the substitution for u and for dx. Once we've made the substitution, we're ready to try to evaluate the new integral. So the fourth step is to evaluate the new integral. Once we've evaluated it, we want to get it back in terms of the original variable. So after we evaluate it, we want to write it back in terms of x. Let's take a look at an example to see how this procedure works. Consider the integral of 4x times cosine of x squared. And notice that x squared is a function inside of cosine. It's an inner function. So for the first step in our u substitution, we're going to try u equals x squared. Second step is to find the derivative of u. The derivative of x squared is simply 2x. Now we want to solve this expression for dx. You can treat the du over dx as a fraction. So you can multiply both sides by dx. Du equals 2x dx. Divide by 2x to solve for dx. We have du over 2x equals dx. Now we're ready to make the substitution. We have u equals x squared, and we have dx, and we're going to substitute our expressions into the integral. So we have the integral of 4x times the cosine of u instead of x squared. And then instead of dx, we write du divided by 2x. Now, we'd like to simplify this integral before attempting to evaluate it. In this case, we can cancel out the x with the x. And then 4 divided by 2, that's just 2. So our integral becomes the integral of 2 times the cosine of u du. Finally, we want to evaluate the new integral. This new integral is much simpler than the one that we started with, and this is one that we should hopefully be able to recognize. The antiderivative of 2 times the cosine of u is 2 times the antiderivative of cosine, which is positive sine of u. Very last step, we rewrite in terms of the original variable. So this is 2 times the sine of, instead of u, it's x squared, and then we remember the plus c. Really quick, let's check to make sure that our answer is correct. In order to check an antiderivative, we simply need to take the derivative of our answer, and it should be exactly what we started with. So we'll take the derivative of 2 times the sine of x squared. We don't need the plus c. This is 2 times the derivative of sine. The derivative of sine is cosine of x squared. And this is chain rule. We do the derivative of the outer function, evaluated at x squared, times the derivative of x squared, which is 2x. Notice that when we check, we're taking the derivative. When we did the antiderivative, we essentially undid the chain rule. This simplifies to 4x cosine of x squared, which is what we had to begin with, so our answer must be correct.